excited for today. Oh, so good. So I'm gonna check it out. I want to see, did you guys get the names of your purpose guide, your angel of purpose? Great to see you. I love looking at these comments here. So Michael, huh? You felt him on your right? I love that. Chris, you got Jophiel. How freaking awesome. Let's see. Afrael had a great time. One of the secrets I want to share with you today about affirming that that's who's talking to you and who wants to talk to you about your purpose today is when you ask the name, they give you the name, you say it out loud. And if you feel the energy amplify, you feel it getting stronger, or you feel a sense of like an expansion, there's a lot of different ways that you can feel it, then that's an affirmative answer. Okay. So again, one of my goals always with my students and people that I train is to help them sense or even feel it. Some people think that clairvoyance is the end all be all of the channeling. And I think that over the years, it's when you can sense and feel, like I said yesterday, that's when you know you're not like making shit up, right? If it's just like, "Psh, that's a heat wave that just struck me." So it's pretty awesome. So it looks like this stood on your left shoulder over there. So today we have a really cool day planned. I'm just wanting to say again, my extraordinary people, congratulations. Well, I just want to congratulate you and celebrate you already just for coming to this and being curious about what channeling is and how to amplify your channeling so that you actually can make more aligned power moves in your life. Because it really is, when it just separates the men from the boys, if you ask me, as far as uh, moving from being just a spiritual hobbyist to again living in these principles that begin from the inside and also begin with such a beautiful, powerful relationship with spirit. I mean, it's just life changing. And I know, how many of you just put yes in the chat room have already had your life changed just in working with spirit and working with angels? It's just so different than simple belief or faith. Like when you're actually putting this stuff to experimentation and being disciplined and staying committed and those kinds of things. Oh, so many yeses. So good to see. And, um, for folks who are just curious, like, is this shit real? I'm so glad you're here. And I hope that there are just natural skeptics also. I always hope for skeptics because I was a skeptic. I didn't know that this stuff was as real as it is. Um, and it's been over a decade, but for over a decade, I've just continued my journey and research and kept stuck with it in a lot of different ways. And the ways that I stuck with it transformed. One of the biggest ways I stay on track now is by being of service. I have people that expect me to show up and do stuff sometimes. And so that really keeps me committed. I can't forget about y'all because um you're reaching out to me or you're in one of my communities and we're doing weekly work and so so it's just so wonderful. So I'm glad you're here no matter what stage of the journey that you're on. And I'm excited to talk about 2025 with you. And I'm glad you're here to you came to something like, hey, are you trying to make power moves? Like that's inspiring to me because I didn't start making power moves until I encountered the angels. So you're in the not making this shit up phase. Hell yes. PGD. Oh, wonderful. One of my people. Yes. Um, so let's see. I was totally blown away by how yesterday went. First of all, that there was kind of a change in plans in what I was talking about. My plan was not to talk about your angel of purpose, or to share that channeling with you that I did. So one of the things that was notable to me about that channeling when I was reading it is like I just didn't use that language in life back then, you know? And just, I'm pretty sure I probably just thought, like, that shit is so corny. It's corny, but, interesting. But, I kept channeling here and there, and it was always a little corny. And that's because I didn't totally know the corny voice inside of me that's now kind of like a voice of wisdom. Um, so, so yeah, it could sound like I'm I'm trying to like channel what like Deepak right now, like like get over yourself or whatever. But what's again, what I love about the actual channel writing, which we're specifically talking about today, is that it gives you freaking written proof, documented proof, which is why in my books, in my programs, I always say document what happens for you, whether it's the mini miracles, the synchronicities, um, and if you're just starting this work with me, yesterday, day one, okay, you keep everything that happens for you, even if it's subtle. Today, um, same thing, because even this 3 days could just give you an entirely new blueprint of what you think is possible. It raises your personal bar, your personal ceiling. And um and I mentioned yesterday that if you do this work and you stay committed, that it opens you up to deeper alignment. And we talked about what I mean by alignment, meaning you're stepping closer into the river or the flow of why you came into this meat suit. Um, that purpose that so many philosophies and religions talked about. So beyond just, hey, I'm going to talk to my angels. It is a powerful, transformative method uh, if you trust, if you know how to trust what you're receiving. And pretty much only that. If you do not trust and you keep it as, oh, that's just some corny shit, or that was a cool workshop, and you just never do anything with it, then you stay in kind of the hobbyist, oh, that was cool, but probably not true kind of thing. Um, so I told you that in that, or I read in that message, one of the things that it said was, Corinne, your deepest medicine is joy and compassion. And this was at a time when I was just coming off the tail end of 3.5 literal decades of horrors. There, I mean, I've always been pretty good at laughing, okay, especially at in inappropriate moments that should be, you should not be making jokes of that shit when it's like torture, like literal torture. But at some point, I didn't see it as joy or compassion. Um, and so those phrases I totally would have rejected back then for sure, because most of my life I'm trying to check out of the planet, leave the planet. Most of my life I felt no purpose at all. That's why I was so bored and wanting to escape the planet. So um, today we're going to be asking what your deepest medicine is, just in case, okay? And you may not know it because some of this stuff lays in our subconscious. It lays in, so many people talk about our shadow as if it's full of atrocious demons. I mean, that is not the scariest thing in there. The scariest thing is your fucking unlimited crazy potential that you might not be able to identify with at the time. And um, so I'm excited to see what comes up for you. We're going to be asking a few other really cool questions as well, like what's your highest power moves? What's your biggest power moves that your soul wants you to take in 2025? Not you, okay, not your personality, but your soul. It could be totally different things that you're thinking of right now in the past. And then we're going to ask for two doable action steps today. So those are our goals for the day. And so that's very exciting. Um, And, this joy and compassion thing is so crazy because when I'm in ceremony, over in Shasta, or really over when I started stepping more in alignment with my deeper medicine, okay, because I was doing joy and doing some compassion on a certain level, right? Laughing inappropriately, yes, always. But I didn't identify that with joy. I thought of it as just mocking life. And I'm pretty good at that still. Um, but the things that people say to me are, you are just full of joy. And I'm just like, really? Because I don't identify, I still don't identify with that, but it's what people receive. That's the medicine. And sometimes with our medicine, we don't have to be consciously experience it in order for people to receive your medicine. People will receive this powerful, when I'm doing healing work at Shasta for people in ceremony, people will say they can feel compassion as if it's like a grandmother singing to them or a grandmother holding them. And it's this compassionate being that comes through. Um, and so I'm more integrated now. I'm embodying those principles way more than I was 15 years ago, 14 years ago. And there's always room to grow. There's always deeper levels of your medicine that can be exposed through dedication, discipline, service, but initially commitment. And just having the audacity to even remotely, minutely believe what's being said so that you don't discard it totally. So channeling plant seeds, I talked about that yesterday. For a life you might not be able to see, for a path that might not be clear just yet. Um, and it's not just about receiving guidance, it's also about listening, practicing, and embodying these principles. So tomorrow we're going to talk a lot more about what I mean by embodying. Um, and uh, because, like I said, the revelations that can come could be shocking, stunning to you. Um, and so there's steps you can take to start testing it out. Okay. If this is the theory, how do we put this into practice then? How do we experiment and put it through the test? Um, so the channeling also puts you in direct, tangible conversation with your guides, with your angels, with the archangels. A lot of you felt the archangels with you, and that's, part of the magnetism to the work that we do, because I roll deep with archangels. I talk a lot about archangels, and the archangels are my initiators. They brought me into this world. And as I've kind of transformed down the pipeline, they continually invite me to discover other aspects of how the divine manifests, how it comes into this reality, how heaven manifests through earth and through those bodies, your body and the people that you're surrounded by. And another thing that channel writing can do is that we all have this physical body, but then we have this invisible body. And if I know if someone is gonna open up a acupuncture practice, so that there's the energy body that a lot of the Eastern philosophies talk about. They're not the only ones that talk about it. Shamanic cultures all over talk about the energy body in different ways. They talk about how the greatest masters, the greatest shaman, those who walk in both worlds, the world of spirit and the world of the land, those who become the masters or the master manifestors, the most powerful healers, those that have the most powerful presence, the most power and can offer the most powerful impact are those whose energy body is strong, whose light body builds, and they become quite literally their own force of nature. And this channeling practice helps open up that power, helps open up those meridians so that you can become what I want to say, like a more clear cup of the truth and be a good receptor. So we also worked a little bit on you receiving love from your angel of purpose and from the creator. And that aspect of the work that I do always is to help your energy body loosen up, to help declutter and to help teach you, build the neural pathways again, because you were born like this. You were born able to receive love, receive spirit. It's just the humans that kind of smacked it out of us. So for some of us, literally, right? So all we're doing is re-waking up the system that our creators gave to us. That Mama Gaia gave us this cool body, and then the spirit gave us this other cool body. And when they work together, that's when you become a force of nature. That's when your power moves become more powerful and you back down a little bit less. It like thickens up your skin a little bit and also helps the world like cave a little bit to your will. Okay. That sounds arrogant, but it's not, when I say your will, it's not just your will, whatever your name is. If your name is Sally, it's not just Sally's will, it's the divine creature, the divine aspect, the fingertip of God that lives in that sun inside of your heart. Sometimes I see the suns or that inner sun as one of the fingertips or the tendrils of the Great Spirit. And so when you're listening to that spark and navigating through the dark clouds and you make contact, it doesn't take a lot of work to make contact because it's there. We just have to look past the clouds consistently. Commit to the possibility first, start proving it out so that you can learn to be a good receptor, and that light body opens things up. So when when I'm teaching in our 3-month class, it's really about opening up this light body, including opening up your heart, the heart to me being the center. A lot of people put the center of their spiritual gifts in the third eye. And to me, there's no more powerful vehicle than focusing on the heart in all things when you're working with shit, anything, whether it's your relationships with humans or your relationship with spirit or your relationship with what kind of medicine you're going to serve up to the world, to your world. Could just be your family, or your siblings, your animals, or the trees if you're a nature lover. I'm a everything lover. I'm very polyamorous when it comes to my love for all things, animals, trees, all kinds of spirits, stars. So so it opens up, if you know at least the Eastern terms, the crown chakra, it helps bring the energy through there. Then it moves down these other meridians. Another key aspect of being able to channel right is opening up your spiritual ears for those who have ears, right? What's that phrase? For those who have eyes, let them see. And for those who have ears or whatever, like, you know what I'm talking about. So the spiritual ears are the ones that can hear beyond the illusions and the false narratives that you tell yourself, like that you suck, okay? Or that you're not good enough for stuff, or like, oh, you'll never be a good anything. Oh, I don't know how to channel. I'm horrible at this. The angels would never pick me to talk to them, or something like that. We tell ourselves a lot of lies, and it keeps us pretty like dead before we're dead. Because when that world opens up to you, it's pure magic. And a lot of you know that already. I love that you're having your experiences. My goal is always to help you have more, a lot more. So, these ears open up also your throat. So it's like your crown opens up to receive wisdom. Your ears open up so that when you're receiving that wisdom, you can actually interpret what's being said, whether it's even through your physical senses. or your taste buds. Or there's another sentience called, I always forget what it's called, but I call it clairsmellience. Sometimes you can like smell roses or smell something pungent or whatever, just for no reason. Um, if you have good ears, you can understand. If you see a couple birds fly by right when you made a request or a prayer outside, if your ears are nice and big, spiritually, you'll be able to hear the message, sense the message. Um, so by working these practices and many of the other practices that, you know, we teach or I teach along the way, it helps open these things up and then your throat. So what good is it to receive wisdom, hear the wisdom, if your throat refuses to speak, or if your throat refuses to yeah, if it's too blocked, a lot of our truth has been suppressed. A lot of us were raised getting choked at the throat. Like, shut your mouth. We don't want to hear it. There's no room for you. Your voice doesn't matter. And so if we did, there wasn't a lot of space made for us to have a unique independent thought or a real feeling that's alternative to the people in our closest space, we shut down. And so that impacts your ability to channel clearly because of, you know, just junk in here. Other things also impact that in your lower body. And we work through a lot of that in our training, just step by step. But today's focus is just channel writing and just giving you the fundamentals of what gets activated so that you can get more clear. Just the act of taking this pen to your paper and opening it up with intention helps just by itself loosen some of this shit up and open up and balancing out these parts of our other body so that your heart can fucking explode into possibility. Um, so I mean, just really think about it, okay? Because once you start getting stuff open, because my stuff was more open because I already had the miracle. I was already talking to angels daily, but I didn't know like what to do with it. So I started just writing, just connecting and writing. And so that first channeling was the beginning. But places along the way, like I want you to really think about this. If spirit told you in a channeling that you had the gift of speaking, of storytelling, and that spirit is hiring you, the are hiring you to speak to thousands of people all over the world and make an impact with your voice, make an impact with the stories that you tell, with your life stories that you tell, um, and that it would be all over the world. Would you believe them? You know, would you believe that shit? Or would you think it's grandiose? Like, oh, like who am I kidding? Or, I mean, some of you might have excellent self-esteem. So I'm not one of those people. I have never been one of those people. I'm way more confident now, but my confidence is not like, oh, I'm the shit. My confidence is like, I'm a goddamn fool and I don't care anymore that I am. I don't care about people's judgment as much as it just really doesn't matter the way it used to. It used to grip me for people. Like I wanted to be liked all the time by all people. So it kept me at a nice medium pace. Just so I guess decent, uh, appropriate, but not myself. So not fully myself. So would you believe them? I surely didn't, okay? When they were giving me these feelings, these vibes, these images, totally thought they were full of shit. And you know, again, in a way, because like I'm a girl from the hood, okay? I mean, I went to college, but straight from the hood, low self-esteem, super poor, low, like I said, low self-esteem, withdrawn, totally withdrawn. Okay, I am an introvert, believe it or not. I do not like crowds. I do not like being the center of attention. I'm a hermit by most cases, unless I'm going to see my people, you know, like you guys or like my closer friends or family. So it was so weird to even hear any of this stuff because no speaking skills, public speaking skills, not telling any stories. As a matter of fact, as a therapist at the time, your job is to not disclose anything, any personal information about you. So really think about that. If you had the same thing, would you even believe them? Um, Maybe you've heard some of the similar things or even weirder things, and you're like, no way. I just, as you start this path intentionally, as you restart it, because I know a lot of you have been doing it for a while, I want you to think of now as a restart, like a reset. Um, like you have no clue what you're about to discover today and what it's going to say today. Come to this work always as a baby, as a child, in discovery, being curious about what could be said. So we're going to go ahead with that preamble and give it a shot. You guys ready? So we're going to be asking these three questions. What's your highest purpose for 2025? Okay, maybe write these down. Write these down. What is your deeper medicine or your deepest medicine? Okay, what's your highest purpose for 2025? What two power moves does that entail? Okay, from the soul, what two power moves does my soul want me to do this year for 2025? Okay, so I'm going to walk you through a process. Everybody take a deep breath with me as you're writing. No, okay, Casey, I'm seeing you say like, no, you could do today with us. I'm going to walk you through a whole process anyways, but definitely watch tomorrow. Definitely watch yesterday, because it's fun, it's good, and it's helpful. Thanks, Merrick. You're my people too, yeah. Oh, Lori says your spirituality has changed. Does anybody need those questions again? You have your questions? What's your deepest medicine? What's your highest purpose for 2025? And what two power moves does that entail from a soul level? Divinely aligned will uh, is so next level. All right, so now that you got, I'll still walk you through and probably say the questions again, but those are questions you can keep asking. If you didn't get super clarity today, you can keep asking. So take a few breaths with me. And always, when we start going into meditation to commune with spirit, bring a smile to your face. Like, I'm calling in the most beautiful uh, beings, the most beautiful family I can think of. Like, it's having that posture is just very welcoming, even to spirit, because I think of spirit as like also people. And when you bring and invite someone into your space, what kind of host do you want to be? So, open-hearted, I welcome you, okay? As opposed to like, hell, I don't know about, do I know what I'm doing? It doesn't matter. You know what you're doing. We're designed to do this stuff. So, few breaths with me. Anchor into your body. Feel your body. Feel the feet on the ground if you're sitting on the ground. Just get a sense of this good old carcass. It's so cool and weird at the same time, but just here I am. I want you to get a sense of just you sitting in your chair or Close your eyes and really commit to focusing right now just in the center of your heart. Hone your awareness, like collapse your mind, drop all the crap you're bringing in for the day, and be very present in your heart, as if you're encountering a lover, truly. Like you want to be present, soft hearted, receptive. So take a moment to embody what I'm talking about there. And a few breaths to relax yourself, relax your neck, your shoulders, your jaw, unclench your temples. Let your shoulders drop. And also unclench your butt cheeks. Relax. A lot of people have clenched butt cheeks. They don't even know. It just tightens things up, tightens up the channel. So relax your whole body. And breathe, not just in your upper chest, but also let your belly breathe too. Relax your belly enough. Sometimes it's hard if you have a lot of energy or crap there to let that part of your belly go. So sometimes you just have to be mindful that it doesn't have to be grit 24/7, and neither do your butt cheeks. So now we're ready for a little invocation, creator of all that is, and to all of the wonderful archangels who brought us all together. And also we call on each person's angel of purpose. Angel of purpose, please show me where you stand, to my left or my right. And you can might be able to get a sense of it, see it, feel a tingle on the left or right side. Maybe you'll notice a brighter light inside of your eyeballs on the left or right side. Sometimes they'll touch your hand. You'll feel a pressure on your hand, a pressure on one shoulder or the other. But again, this is the practice. I know we did this yesterday, but the practice is doing it over and over again. That's part of also building relationship. And if you want to build a relationship with spirit, you don't abandon it. You stay a wooing lover. So we welcome you into our space. Show me where you stand. And if you were able to get a name, you can say whatever the name is. Hi, so-and-so, thank you for coming. And is your name so-and-so? And you can see if the feeling or sensation or color or whatever it is that comes to you, if it feels like it amplifies a little bit, if it grows a little bit. And if you notice that it doesn't grow, in your homework, you can keep working on that. It's not required that you have the name, but it sure is fun because it's part of relationshiping. It helps you feel like you're more in relationship. It's like a human thing. And sometimes the names can be weird, unexpected. So if it doesn't sound like it's straight out of the freaking Bible, don't worry about it. I think one of my first guides that I got was like Stanley. You know what I mean? So be like Bob. So now, once you make that connection, hello, I want you to take another moment and let yourself open your heart, say hello, give gratitude to this beautiful angel for coming to you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to get to know you. And you can open your heart to receive the love. And this is love from essentially from God. These angels are bridges to God. So, or whatever your version of God is, goddess, the universe, cosmos, it's all love anyways, no matter which way you slice it. So I open my heart to receive your love. Thank you. Let yourself sense it. And if you already did this practice yesterday, tell your body and your heart, just open up a little bit more. Invite it to open more. Take a few breaths. In your exhale, let go of any debris that are maybe blocking your channels. So now that you have that opening, I want you to ask the question, what is my deepest medicine? And
Yeah, excuse me. I started late because I was at treatments and treatment for addictional health. That's why I'm starting late. So please forgive me for that. Okay, this is Terry Solomon.
hi,
Yeah,
hi
I truly
Terry.
apologize. Yeah, I don't like missing anything because,
Oh,
I'm
okay.
glad that you said we played yesterday because I came from a doctor's appointment yesterday and that's why I started late as well. So the timing's just off. I would
Oh, well,
love
you're here right
to.
on time, okay, Terry. So right now, everybody's in the middle of a meditation. So, and
Oh,
we're asking a cool question. So you watched yesterday's replay? So if you watched yesterday's replay, you can ask, go ahead and take yourself in, breathe, and it's fine that you're late, okay? It's great to hear your voice, by the way. And we're wooing this wonderful angel that has your purpose. And the first question we're asking is, what is my deeper medicine? And if you've listened to my thing yesterday, that they told me that my medicine was joy and compassion. And I didn't believe them at the time. So receive whatever you receive. It could be a word, it could just be a vibe or a feeling. And go ahead and just take note of that. Start writing this stuff down. Hopefully you guys have pen and paper. And then Terry, I'm gonna ask a few more questions for you to ask your angel. So go ahead and do that practice. And you guys, the answers are generally just right there. Trust what you get, write it down, even if it's subtle. And if you guys have already gotten some of your medicine, feel free to share it in our chat room, okay? Oh, Carolyn, you received love as your deepest medicine. Oh, Susan, you're so sweet. You're so kind and lovely. Yeah, talk to my boyfriend about that one. Not always. But thank you. It's just such a treat to have you guys gathering with me and us and doing this work together. Oh my gosh, Susan, faith is your medicine. Wow. Do you guys agree with it? Do you see it or do you not see it yet? I didn't see it, like I said. So faith is your medicine. Forgiveness is your medicine. Wow. Music. Hell yeah. Share inspirational messages through songwriting. Do you know anything about songwriting yet? It's not required that you do. Eventually just start doing it. Just like, oh shit. Like when I started talking, so weird. I just turned stuff on and then blah, stuff would just come out. Serena's joy, responsibility, togetherness, divine union. Good for you. Ah, Gail, your deepest medicine is magic. Hell yeah. So good. Lee says it's peace. Oh, you are a songwriter. Good. Well, hopefully that's in your plans to keep doing it. Exploit the shit out of it. So you got your medicine. Now if you got your medicine, even one or two, what is my highest purpose in 2025? And what are two power moves that my soul wants me to take? Not me, not my little personality, but the sun that lies inside of my heart, the child of God that lives inside of my heart, past the clouds, past the fear, past the doubt. Two power moves. And if you only get one, that's cool. Just being a little greedy today. Oh, Franny, faithfulness. Good for you. Hasani, joy. Lovely. Empowering. Ah, Adeline, is that is that power moves this year for 25? Awesome. Oh, cool. Is that what you had in mind already for this year? Awesome. Cool. Okay. So if you already have your two power moves, you can ask if there's any other messages that comes through. Any other messages that this guide wants to give you right now, now that they have you as a captive audience. Trust and surrender. Marcel, is that a power move? Or is that your medicine? Is that your deeper medicine? So cool to hear what other people are getting, to be bolder and share the light. Awesome, Franny. And Terry, if you're still there, I want to hear, I want to, if you could even put it in the chat room, if you get your medicine, if you discover what your like special essence, your mastery is, even if you don't know it or not. Love is the medicine. So sometimes our medicine is to also, you're here to learn that medicine too. And like, I can see how in my childhood, it was so much lessons in compassion at becoming masterful, at understanding and having an open heart for just really intensely intense people. Um, Power moves is to step out of your inner cave and engage. Okay, I love that. To take action and performance, being more present and showing up for oneself, leaving hermit mode behind and embracing connection. It's a hard one. That just made me laugh, Christine. I can't help it. I know that one really well. Been doing that one for a while. Yeah. I'm praying for you, girl. The struggle is real, my friend, but it's not impossible. You just got to do it. That's all. Power moves are learning and healing. Ah, higher purpose is self-love. Hell, that's beautiful. Self-love. Are we all hermits in here? That one resonated with me too. It's funny when people come to retreat with me over in Shasta, we have this ongoing joke that I already know, like it's a miracle because 90% of them are hermits. And so we call it the gathering of the hermits. And it could be just a totally new group. And it's like, still hermits, huh? A lot of us. So higher, it's sensitive. So it's a sensitive thing. If you're sensitive, you start getting a little even more choosy. But even extroverts are super sensitive. They just channel the energy differently. And they're fed in that way. So Franny, and it turns out I wasn't really an introvert, by the way. I was just wounded. Power move to write a book. Good, Serena. Yeah, it'd be good To your mamas. Oh, to be good. Yes, be good to your mamas. Did you know that you were writing a book already? The Gathering of the Hermits. We tend to gather whether we're on Zoom accidentally or in person. Um, purpose is to shine. Two power moves are do and be. Good, Amy. No, didn't know about writing a book. Okay, good luck then to you too. It just starts happening. It's weird. Okay. So uh let me say yes in the chat room if you were somewhat like, oh, surprised by what they said or what was said. Somewhat surprised. Was it a little different than what you were thinking that would be a focus of this year, a power move of this year, or even your medicine? Oh, yeah, you're very surprised for the book. So this is exactly why, you guys, the channeling thing is so important. If you are actually wanting to transform your life in like a deeper way, like a penetrating heart way where it feels more meaningful, um, and you become not the walking dead as much. You become more alive when you access that power. Because like I said, it's not just, it truly is a sun, I feel like, now that I'm thinking about it. It brings you vitality. I look 10 years younger now than I did 10 years ago. Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's pretty amazing. And it's just from working with spirit, building that relationship with spirit, but also engaging your essence, engaging your power, your magic, your medicine. It's just very, it's just a different world. I went to the gym one day. When was this? It was like maybe like 5 years ago. I went to the gym. Okay, a miracle in and of itself. But I went to the gym and I showed the lady my picture, and she's like, she rejected it. She gave it back to me. She's like, go bring your mom in here first before I'm gonna let you in. And I'm like, no, this is me. She's like, no. And I was like, yes. And so I mean, yeah, it's your sun. You start shining more. But your natural whatever starts au I think, comes out. And so the practice of transformation, personal mastery, okay? Initiation. It starts with your trust, confidence with yourself. And something I want to say about this trust and confidence thing. So part of your homework, by the way, is because some of these power moves, they're going to come through as general. Like some of these were really general, like, oh, I just want to be. Okay, that is great, but it's not meaningful until you have put some structure on it. Okay, so you're going to tonight spend 5-10 minutes and you're going to ask, what specific action steps, one or two specific tangible things can I actually do to ensure that I'm on the course to learn how to just be this year? You know, what actions do I have to do to make space for being, or to, you know, whatever power moves it was, there's going to be like two action steps. Spirits will just give you one or two steps sometimes. Sometimes you'll get a whole plan. Don't get flooded with that shit, okay? Just focus on the first steps in front of you first. Always, actually. First steps, because like writing a book, I don't know how to write a book, right? Like, I don't know how to do any of I didn't know how to do anything literally, that I do, right? So one step at a time, all of a sudden I discover, I look back 10 years ago when I wrote that channeling and I had accomplished a lot of that stuff. And that all of that thing is my actual messaging today. It was not my messaging before. So you stumble into it and it starts with actionable steps and committing to them, no matter what, you know? Because what if it was God literally telling you this stuff? Would you turn a blind eye to it? Would you crumple up the paper, toss it away? Would you blow it off? You know? Um, what if it was like this life freaking changing blueprint that you just dropped it down? just started to drop down anyways. What if it was that, you know? How seriously would you take the channeling, your abilities, opening up your senses, energizing your light body, connecting with your inner sun, holding focus on that, right? So important. So what aligned actions should you take? And you can even double it down. You can say 2 aligned actions I should take this week or this month to to move me closer to my purpose or to start to do this power move. And you have to look at everything that comes through as gold. So if you get your action steps, you best do them if you want to build trust with yourself and trust with spirit. There's no point. That's like, why would they keep on this blah, 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 blah over and over again? You'll get bored if you just keep on hearing the same shit over and over again. And it's like, they're just like, well, we're not going to say anything for a while until you actually do what we said you do. Some people wonder why they stopped hearing the angels for a while. It's because you got to do something. There's something you got to do. It keeps the funnel open when you're receiving and then action. It's like that, like an electrical circuit. It's got to flow. It's got to flow. Part of that work is yours. So hopefully that helps. You excited? Please say you're excited about today. Yes. Awesome. I'm excited to see what happens. I want to hear about some action steps when we come back tomorrow. So let me just get out my notes here about what, so for tomorrow, we're talking more about embodying your message, what I mean by that, and what it means for 2025. We're going to talk about, yeah, moving beyond the page, beyond what you're writing, and really get to the serious transformations, the bigger ones that I'm talking about. That channeling is a method of, it's the beginning. It's a method of self-mastery. It really is. But confidence, trust building, commitment, perseverance. So come tomorrow, if for nothing else than to show that you're committed to something. Okay. You're committed to wanting to talk to angels. But tomorrow is when we get to open up the class also to Q&A. So if you have questions or if you want to share something cool that happened for you over the last 3 days, I'm also going to be talking more specifically about this 3-month certification that we're starting next week. All right. And I already want you to start feeling into your bones there. If it feels like that's something you want to pursue, it's a channeling 3-month deep dive. Okay. And, and it's powerful. It's powerful because it's spirit and it's legit. The shit is real. It's real. So we'll talk more about that shit tomorrow. But right now, focus on yourself and get those damn action steps because you came here to make power moves, and I want to make sure that you do. All right? So we'll see you tomorrow, my loves. Yay! Mwah, 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 mwah. Yeah, if you're in a quiet space, if you got nothing, it's cool. You just keep practicing. That's all. You just keep practicing, just like with anything else. Start flexing those muscles. Yeah, Cami, that's a great question. And bring those questions in tomorrow so that we can talk about them in more detail, because I bet a lot of people have those same questions. Ah, thank you, my loves. Bye. I always have a hard time saying bye. I'm so clingy. Okay. Love you guys. Oh, I love the work that we're doing. The heart is, my heart is like, oh, all right. Oh, hey, bye, Chris and Terry, Merrick, Adeline, Casey, Lisa. Hey, if you guys come tomorrow, consider being on camera, just at least so I can see your faces. Okay. So consider just letting me see you. You don't have to say anything, but it's fun for me to look at to see who's
Shoot,
hiding behind. So hi, BGD. Okay, good. I see you now.
I forgot.
All right. Huh?
I totally forgot to. Oh, sorry. Am I on? Okay.
Yep, pretty much.
I totally forgot to do the video. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow. This was great. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. Today's a standalone day, but yeah, check out tomorrow if you didn't see tomorrow. That's a cool day too.
Okay.
And Terry, I'll see you tomorrow, Terry. Can you come tomorrow? All right. Make sure to watch the replays. If you got here a little bit late, you guys, watch them in the beginning. There's always some nuggets in pretty much every, few minutes. They're trying to get something through to you. Okay, catch the replay, Jesse. Catch the replay. Right, damn it. But I guess I'll let you catch the replay this one time, okay? Jesse, just kidding. You can catch the replay always. I try to make these for like busy people. Even my trainings are for, if you're busy, there's always replays and resources. Okay, love you guys. Good to see you. All right, tomorrow, all right? Same time, bat channel and bat place.